Okay, boys and girls, it is... Oh, I forget there's no badge on the front. Can you guess what vehicle this is? Oh, that's right. It's Land Rover time. Now, sorry for the mess here, but literally, this is what's going on. So this is a vacuum pump right here. And it was leaking right around the gasket on here, which was actually replaced about a year ago. I replaced the gasket because this pump is about $250 US. So I thought, you know what, interim, bollocks, I'll cheap out. I'll just buy a new gasket for about $16. So I did, so it worked out fine. And then I actually replaced the alternator yesterday. And I realised while I was under there, you see the new alternator right there, which, by the way, I broke the wire, which I had to fix, which was a pain in the arse. That's a Denso part. But anyway, the vacuum pump here was leaking. So I ordered a new part, which is that. It's a replacement part. But what you'll notice is, I didn't realise this until I had to go to the Land Rover dealership and buy some new bolts. These are the original bolts, which I thought I could use on the new part. And let me just pull out the... I ended up fitting this once and took it off because the... Sorry, I'm trying to do this with one hand. I'm not a professional YouTuber. So that's the new part. It's a Pierburg part. There it is. That's the new one. And if I line them up, you can see the difference right there. Spot the difference. New part, old part. So if you try to use the original bolts, which are, by the way, what are they? I think they're a T30. I think those things are a T30 fitting. If you notice, oh dear, they are not long enough to go through. So I didn't realise this until the last fucking minute. Excuse my French, bleep that piece out. Till the last minute that I needed some new parts, new bolts here, and of course they didn't come with. They didn't come with this, and I didn't even realise they needed a difference in length. So you have to go and buy this part number, which is a Jaguar part number, by the way. And you'll need two of these. So there's the two of them. And it is C2Z30121. And these were from the dealership. They were, like I said, Jaguar components. And for two of these, you pay about $16 plus tax. So that's what I had to do. Luckily, they had two in stock. But as you can see, and if we line them up here, I haven't put this in yet, and of course I'm videoing this with one hand. You'll actually see there, you'll have plenty of space. And this is actually a better part anyway. It looks like it's a 10mm bolt head on it, rather than a bloody Torx. Rather than a Torx 30. So anyway, I've been draining some oil out of this. I'm trying not to get oil all over my bloody hands, eh? So right up there, so we can see that where it came from. So there's where it came from. Not sure how much oil I've lost. Probably about 3 quarts. She's down to a drip now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean off that part there, and then fit the new vacuum pump into that. You know, I don't know what the torque specs are for those bolts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cinch them up to about 18 pounds a foot. So snug but not too tight. And then once I've found the torque fitting measurement on those, then I'll readjust the torque. Either loosen them up or slacken it off or whatever, and then tighten them back up, depending on what I need to do. So I'm going to put them in at 18 pounds foot with my torque wrench. And then I'll find out online what it is. I just want to get this thing cinched up and oil put back in, so I've got to go and pick the bloody dog up. So, you know, and so that's where we're at. I don't know whether I can squeeze up in there, just to give you a view up inside. Like I said, professional YouTube I ain't. There it is inside. There it is. So that's the vacuum pump housing. I'm trying not to get oil all over my phone here. Yeah. Oh. So that's that. Oh, and then the connector. The connector, where's the connector? Oh yeah, there's the connector up there. To get this connector off, where is it? To get that connector off, the vacuum connector, you just need to, there's actually on the very top of it, there is a little clip. You can see that. Right there. Maybe. I don't know whether you can see that or not. But there it is. Right on the top. You have to push that down to release it. And then you should be good. You should be golden. And that's really about it. Like I said, there's the no. Well, it doesn't look new. I went through a bloody great big puddle last night when I put this on. I did break the wire on that and had to repair it. So just if you are, there's a wire on the back of the alternator, leave that bolt in right there, slacken it off, so you've got about 1 inch of play that you can move the alternator out and wiggle it around, so you can get to the connector at the top without dropping your alternator and snapping your wire clean off like I did. Because I got to tell you, getting splicing a wire up in there is a real pain in the arse, because you've only got about 4 inches of play. So that was a pain in the butt. Oh! Oi, oi, oi. So anyway, it's a right mess in here. So there you go. There's the vacuum pump. There's the new part. That Pierburg, which is about $280. And there's the old part. And like I said, I did replace that gasket for about $16. It lasted about a year, but unfortunately it started leaking again. So while I was under there with the alternator, I realised, bollocks, I might as well just change the vacuum pump out, put the new one on. It looks a bit shitty because, like I said, I put it in and then I had to take it out because I realised I didn't have these bloody bolts. So that's all for now. She's looking quite filthy, as you can see. Went through a bloody great big bomb hole in her yesterday, and yeah, splashed crap all over the place. But yeah, that's exactly what she's designed for, though, eh? So once I get that done, she'll be good to go, and she'll be golden. So any questions below in the comments. Oh, the box for the new part is, well, you can see the parts on here. There you go. Brake vacuum pump. So that's what you're looking for. Set to Pierburg brake vacuum pump. And it won't come with the bolts, so you'll have to buy again these bolts to make it fit. Any questions below in the comments. Over and out. Right, so there she is. Oh, let me climb underneath it, eh? So there's the new part. I cinched it up. The bolts are 8mm, so there's only 2 of them. What was I going to say? I've lost my train of thought. I got oil almost dripped in my eye. I don't have my safety glasses on, which is very naughty of me. So yeah, always wear your safety glasses. And my little Harbour Freight light keeps popping off here. So maybe the battery's dying, I don't know. But the 2 bolts are 8mm, and
I didn't put the torque wrench on just yet, but I feel maybe 18 pounds is probably overdoing it a little bit on these. So what I did was I just cinched it up nice and tight, but not too tight. And I'm going to go now online and see if I can find the torque setting for those bolts to see if I can torque them correctly. There's a very small O-ring gasket that fits on the face, so I just made sure that the block where it bolts to is nice and clean, and cinched it down tight but not too tight, like I said. Not German tight, good and tight right now. And then I'll check the torque settings, and we'll see if we get any leaks. I aligned it as best I could. Obviously, I didn't have my head shoved up all the way up in there, so kind of put it in, fiddled it around, moved it around a bit, and then got the I think the flanges in there to connect up. So I'm going to start it right now, see if we get any leaks, and see if I have to put the old part back on. So fingers crossed, hopefully we should be good, and I'll actually have brakes. So I'm going to check the oil though first. Here's my oil pan. I don't know how much I lost, so I am going to fill her back up with oil. I'm guessing maybe 2 or 3 quarts I lost out of that hole there. So I'll measure it out and put the same back in. Of course, there's no dipstick on the LR4, so you can't really dipstick it to see. So you'll have to use the electronic dipstick, and I'll figure out how many quarts, like I said, chuck into the pan there, and measure some back in. So any questions below in the comments. Over and out. If I can get my arm stuck.